the troops. I know some of you came to be entertained, and so just ignore me for a few minutes, and you can go on into a spirit of entertainment, but I'm not an entertainer. I'm a spiritual drill sergeant, a Holy Ghost preacher, a motivator and a builder of God's people, challenging them to go from one level of faith to the next level of faith. Some of us are tired of being on the same level. We're ready to go to the next level, and we don't care who knows it. We're getting radical, and we're ready to move into the things of God. We've been through hell and high water, and now we're ready to go in and take over things that used to take over us. Glory to God. And I think it's fitting that on the first week of this new year, this new millennium, that you begin to put pen and paper and strategy, not just shouting, but a strategy to what God has in store for you. Those children are not going to be delivered without a strategy. That house will not be built without a strategy. You'll never go into your own business without a strategy. You'll never write that book or record that CD without a strategy. The enemy has strategized against you. He's got a planned attack against you. It's not a chaotic attack. It is a systematic attack from the enemy. He knows exactly where to hit you to hurt you. But we are not ignorant of his devices either. And we have a strategy to win. Come on, somebody. 2 Corinthians 4:16. For which cause we faint not. But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. How many people getting a second wind? Went through some things that like to killed you, but just when you were about to faint, you got a second wind, said, I believe I'll fight again. Outward man perish, inward man, the outward man perishes, but the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, somebody shout moment, it worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. The real challenge of being a person of faith is not so much to have a vision, because when you accept Christ and when you start getting in his word, it is impossible to talk to God and not develop a vision for your life. Those of us that are struggling economically, spiritually, or relationally, we're not struggling because we don't have a vision. We're struggling because we find it difficult to see that vision materialize in our lives. We're not hurting for the lack of a vision. We've written songs about what we believe God's going to do. We shout it by faith. We've had great preachers come in and say, spin around 3 times and claim it. Just jump backwards and claim it. Shout Jesus 7 times and speak the word. Write it on a piece of paper and chew it up and swallow it. We've done everything that we could do, but the reality is many times at the end of all of these calisthenics, we find ourselves going back down into the same struggles and challenges and often the same rut. But I don't believe that God brought us through everything that he brought us through just to repeat what we just came out of. In fact, if you begin to look at the things that you have been through, it will prepare your mind for what God is about to do. There is no way you could have gone through what you've gone through and end up with absolutely nothing. You went through it because God is preparing you for the next level. Anytime you go from faith to faith and from glory to glory, in between those times you're going to go through moments of challenge. Those moments are moments that I call defining moments. They are defining moments that either make you better or they make you bitter. You have to decide, either I'm going to quit or I'm going to use my struggles as fuel to go to the next level in my faith. Either I'm going to be a victim and spend the rest of my life complaining about who victimized me, or I'm going to become a victor over what victimized me because I believe that God is able to do it. So there are some things that you're going to have to do in 2000 in order to be ready. Can I share them with you? You must be prepared, number one, to maximize every moment. You've got to wake up every morning and see every day as an opportunity that God has given you to change the circumstances in your life. Look at somebody and say, seize the moment. Well, the reality is when you start talking about maximizing moments and seizing moments, the reality is many of us have missed some great moments. How many of you will admit that you've missed some moments? And you look back over your life and say, Lord, if I had it to do over again, I would have done this or that differently. I would have turned right. I would have said yes when I said no. If I'd have had it to do over again, I would have went on to school. If I'd have had it to do over again, I would have built that church. I would have wrote that. If I'd have just had it to do over. Well, I got good news for you. The lost opportunities, the lost chances, the times you blew it, the moments that you were in la-la land and missed your blessing. God said if he can wake you up for the year 2000, he will go all the way back to 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94, 93, and when you get paid, it's going to be retroactive. That's why it's going to be pressed down, shaken together. Maximizing moments, lost opportunities. God said, I'll restore them back to you so strong that when you get a breakthrough, now you got to understand this, there's going to be some jealousy. Because people are going to look at what God gives you opportunities to do as unfair. But they don't understand that it's not just this moment that he's giving you, but he's paying you on past moments that the enemy tried to destroy. And so you've been compounding interest on your next level of blessing. And so it's going to look like you got more than other people got, but it's because you've been through more than other people been through. And so if you're going to maximize your moments, you've got to be prepared, number two, to minimize your liabilities. Many of you have lost your moments because you've not minimized liabilities. Minimizing entanglements and relationships that are stopping you from going to the next level. I know this is not popular because we are trained as Christians to never let go of people and to never give up on people and to always be there for people. But I'm going to tell you that sometimes being there for people will kill you. Run me off the stage if you want to, but I know how to get back to Dallas. Being there for people will wear you out. And while you're upset, I might as well make you real mad. It was never God's will for you to be there for everybody in your life. He said, lo, I am with you always. He didn't tell me. It's not good for them because many times your saving them from every trouble is stopping them from maturing and becoming who God would have them to be. If you are going to reach your goal for the year of 2000, there are some people, some relationships, some companies, some businesses you are going to have to cut loose in order to maximize your moment. You've got to minimize your liabilities. You got to minimize liabilities. In the book I talk about, you got to throw Jonah overboard. If Jonah's causing the storm in your life, you got to throw him overboard. Turn him over to God. Say, okay, God, this is your joker. You fix him. He's about to, carrying him is about to take me down. Throw that joker overboard. Let the fish swallow him up. He's God's man. God will get him out. But I got to get on with my life and go on where I'm trying to. Oh. Maybe you shouldn't be here today because you'll go home and start throwing a whole lot of stuff out and a lot of things over because you don't have time. Good God, I feel something in here. Holla, maximize the moment. Number 3, you have to manufacture what God put inside of you. What do you mean by manufacture? When you manufacture something, you take it from the blueprint stage and bring it to the manufacturing stage where you begin to materialize. You can't just keep having all of these things that are in your mind. It's in my mind to do this. It's in my mind. I was thinking one day I was going to do it. This is the 3rd year I had the dream. This is the 5th time God told me to write the book. This is the 6th year God told me how to build my house. I got an idea in my mind. No, you got to manufacture this year. This is your year to build what you've been dreaming about. Don't just talk about it. Don't just shout about it. Don't just threaten the devil. This is your year to manufacture what you believe. Ask your neighbor and say, do you believe it? Manufacture it. One of the first things God said to man is be fruitful. I'm going to give you the seed, but you got to give me the fruit. Manufacture your creativity. Just 3 people, tell them there's something inside of you. There's a gift down inside of you. There's a talent down inside. In fact, many of you have more than one. You have many things down inside of you. And some of you have not discovered what God has put in you, and you haven't been able to manufacture it because, number 4, you've never been motivated. You've never had anybody in your life as a coach saying you can do it. You've always had people saying, don't try that. Don't try, child. You got to use 5 cents. Don't try that. You know what you've been through. But every now and then, you got to find somebody who will get over in your ear and say, you can do it. You can do it. Go ahead. Don't give up. Don't give out. Don't give in. You can do it. If I don't do anything with the last half of my life, I want to be somebody's coach. I want to be the guy over in the corner saying, hit him again. Get up and hit him again. The fight is not over. Get up and fight back. Hit him in the neck. So number 4, you're going to have to surround yourself with people who motivate you. God will put you around people that have a tendency to intimidate you because they're on another level and you're not there yet. Defy the odds to go back to familiar ground. Go ahead and stand there. You might be dressed wrong. You might be talking silly. You may not know what to do, but if God puts you in the circle, stay there. He'll put you around somebody who challenges you to come up to the next. You got to understand something. I didn't come to Houston because I needed a place to preach. I'm not here because I don't have anything else to do. I'm here because I sense in my spirit that there are some troops and some recruits that God's got in Houston that are ready to break down the gates of hell and possess the promises of God. I'm here because somebody needs a strategy for the 21st century. You're on the verge of a breakthrough. You're right on the edge of a miracle. And all you need is motivation. Get away from people who tolerate you. And get with people who motivate you. Get with people who challenge you. And some of you are so insecure that whenever God puts anybody around you that motivates you and challenges you, you get so intimidated you run them away. Can I go a little bit further? I'm probably over time. I'm excited because I feel that God is up to something. I feel like there's about to be a breakthrough for people that are ready and that people are prepared and people that have a strategy. And quite frankly, we're going to leave some of y'all just jumping around dancing, beating your tambourine, having church, while the rest of us, we're going to be dancing too, but we're going to be going in to the enemy's camp and taking back what he stole from us and delivering our children and delivering our finances, owning our own companies, building our own business, taking over our communities, breaking generational curses, blessing our children, blessing our grandchildren, rebuking the devil, pleading the blood, laying hands on diseases, standing in the power of God. Number 6. If you're going to be ready, you've got to be prepared to market what God put inside of you. The early church was built on the backs of men who were not afraid to say what they could do. Paul says plainly and unashamedly, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. He wasn't walking around with his head down saying, oh, I just don't know. I'm just glad to be here. I just don't know whether I have anything to say or not. I'm just an old pilgrim traveling through a barren land with false teeth in my mouth. No, he was standing up saying, I can. Somebody shout, I can. If you can do something, you better say so. Because God is raising to the forefront people now who are not so religious that they have been taught to walk with their head down. They're radical. Many of them just came out the street. They don't know protocol. They don't know who to call. They're just glad that they've been delivered by the power of God. They don't know to act pitiful. They don't know to act humble. They just come in acting like, I'm glad, I'm excited. I can sing it. I can build it. I can do it. God can use somebody who's that motivated. Let me say this quickly because I know I must be out of time, but let me say this to you. The reason Jesus, I believe the reason that Jesus kept Peter in spite of all of his mistakes, all of his failures. I mean, Peter was so crazy, he was cutting people's ear off. Jesus about to be crucified, Peter's cussing folks out. And they coming to get him, Peter then reached out and cut somebody's ear off. Jesus had to put it back on his head. But he kept Peter because Peter had courage enough when other people were sitting up on the boat, scared to make a move. Peter stepped off the boat and said, hey, if that's you, big Peter, stomp your foot and say, step out. This is your year to step out. While everybody else is sitting in the barbershop talking about everybody else, this is your year to step out. I'm going to tell you something. All you have is a moment. All you have. Is a defining moment. You've been through some bad moments? Put your hand up. Been through some sad moments? Put your hand up. Been through some lonely moments? Put your hand up. Well, let me close by telling you this. These light afflictions, which are but for a moment, work for us a far more exceeding weight of glory. And that means that the trouble that you've been through does not even compare to the blessing that you're about to receive. And I just want to spend my last 5 minutes preaching to somebody who's been through hell and high water. If you want to know how many blessings you got coming, look at how much trouble you've been through, and the greater your trouble, the greater your blessing. No wonder the Bible said it was good for me that I had been afflicted. Because when you've been afflicted, it teaches you how to fight. Now that you know how to be lonely, and you know how to be talked about, and you know how to be rejected, and now that you found out that gossip don't kill you, and now that you found out that everybody don't have to like you, now you're ready to seize the things of God and maximize the moment. I don't care how bad your trouble has been. The Bible said, can I preach a minute? The good book said these light afflictions. Touch your neighbor and say, that ain't nothing what you've been through. It ain't nothing. It's not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be revealed in your life. If you went through this much trouble, you're going to get that much blessing. If you had that much trouble, you got that much blessing. If you had that much trouble, you got that much blessing. Devil, you should have killed me when you had the chance. You should have took me out when I was on my knees. You should have destroyed me in 1999 when I crossed over. Yes, I did. This is my moment. This is my hour. This is my time to stand up. Yes! 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 Somebody shout yes! I gotta quit. Yes! Can I say that one more time? Yes! Yes! I know some of you are too dignified to holler like that in front of people, and I respect that. But when you get back home, lock the door, pull the blinds, unhook the telephone, and say, yes! But when I think of the goodness
Thank you for watching the Jonathan DesVerney Gospel Channel. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.